Hello students. So today I will start the chapter number 2 and unit 3, that is separation of components of a mixture. So there are the several techniques to separate out of a mixtures of their corresponding components. So first of all, that is your winnowing method. So what is actually winnowing method? See, the process of separating husk from the grain by the farmers is called winnowing method. So see this figure. So here someone farmer doing their job, and she is removed the husk particles from the grain. So grain is a much more heavier particles than the husk. So husk can easily removed from the grain by the using of the wind. So whenever the wind is used in the process of separation, so that time it acts as a winnowing method. Okay. And second is, that is your hand picking method. So from the term hand picking, you know that whenever the process is used by your hand, that is called hand picking. Suppose that you have a marble and you have a pulses. So how to separate out? By your hand you can easily separate out. So in a container you kept the whole pulses and marble, and you have mixed it, and you will not mixed because this is a heterogeneous mixture, solid heterogeneous mixture. So that time easily you can visualize it, and you can separate out the pulses and marble by your hand. So whenever the process is involved by the hand, or for separations of some components or particles or solid particles, at that time is called the hand picking method. Okay. Number 3, that is your sieving. So sieving is one kind of separation technique, or separating the particles of different sizes by using a sieve is called sieving. So this method actually you are usually familiar with this. So this is a figure, you can easily see these things. So you must have seen your mother sieving the floor in a kitchen, the floor particles being finely ground and passed through the holes of a sieve, but the husk particles being big are left on the sieve. So actually these sieves having some pores into it, and the particles which are being lighter, or the pore size is much more bigger, and that is usually passed to it. And the pore, if the husk particle is bigger in size, and that will left on the sieve, and in the smaller particles actually it can goes into the pores, and you can easily separate out the husks and grain. Okay, so this is called sieving. Fourth is, that is your sedimentation and the decantation. So see, sedimentations and decantation process, actually this process actually correlate to each other. Actually this method is employed to remove the insoluble impurities in a suspension by allowing them to settle to the base. Suppose that you have a mud, or you can say that if you have a container, and this container containing some mud or sand into water, so what will happen? So after some times, if you have not disturbed it, and the sand particles will settle down at the bottom of that container, and the water particles will in the upward side, and that time the settle down particle, actually that is your sedimentation. And how to separate out the water particles or water molecules, or you can say that the water from the sand, and that time this process is involved, that is called decantation. So how to separate out? You will not disturb the whole container, and slightly incline the whole solution, and after that you will be able to separate out the whole water from the sand, and that time this decantation process are being involved. So that is actually is called decantation. That means sedimentations and the decantation process are usually correlate to each other. Okay. So the fifth point, that is your filtration. So this process actually you are being also familiar in their in everyday life. So this is the figure. So this is having a strainer, and you have separate out the whole tea from this flax, or you can say that this tea maker, and this whole tea you have to pour into the particular strainer, and after that the whole tea, the liquid part will is come through this strainer, and the insoluble tea particles, tea leaves, that will be left in this particular strainer. So this strainer act as a filter, or you can say that filter. So that process actually is your filtration technique. So this techniques, this type of techniques, or you can say the concept of this technique are being used in also in laboratory also. And that time how to separate out, and suppose that you have a sand and water, again you have having a two available processes there, one is decantation and another process is filtration. And how to separate out, and you have the whole sand water poured into a filter paper, and after you have been poured the whole solution into the filter paper, the sand particle will deposit it on the surface of the filter paper, and the liquid part that will be come through the filter paper, and that particular that clear liquid actually is your supernatant liquid, and the process actually is your filtration. And whatever the substance will stay, and that particular filter paper is called the residue. In stainer also, whatever the tea leaves is present on that particular stainer, that is actually your residue also. Okay. Now coming to the point, that is your evaporation. So what is actually evaporation? These things actually I have mentioned in many times, that is evaporation and boiling point is also correlate to each other. Evaporation can be happened at any temperature, but boiling point this is having a fixed temperature. Okay, suppose that you have a pure water, and that pure water having a sufficient boiling point, that is your 100 degrees Celsius, but evaporation can be happen at room temperature also. Okay, so in case of evaporation you need not to require any kind of heat by external, it can be evaporated by naturally. But in case of boiling, you have to give some sufficient heat over it. So now when you pass through the heat into it, and what will happen, the whole water will be boiled off. Okay, so in case of evaporations, you can also separate out the components. Suppose that you have a sand, you have a sodium chloride, and if you have a water, and how to separate out that time, see this mixtures, that is your homogeneous mixtures, means the salt particle which completely mix to each other, in water is uniformly. So it is never be possible to you separate out by your hand, decantations and filtrations process as well. And that time what you will have to do, and the whole sodium chloride and water solution, you have to left it over sunlight, and that time in the process of naturally the whole water will be evaporate from liquid state to it turn into goes to the vapor state. So that actually your evaporation technique. So this process is being involved in case of homogeneous solutions. Okay, homogeneous solid liquid homogeneous solutions. Okay, so this process actually your evaporation. So this figure is tells like that. And so this is a tripod stand and some petri dish over it, and you have to pour some salt water into it, and you will provide some heat. But one thing is most important, when you provide the heat into it, and that time you will provide the heat gently. Don't go to much more at a time, but if you go to the much more heat in over it, and that time the whole solution will be boiled off, and will not exactly separate out the two components equally. Okay, so this is the process when you heat it, and that time the water will be evaporate. Okay, and also that time water will be evaporate. But the point you have to